We are black people and we shouldn't have to feel like this. We shouldn't have to protest because y'all are treating us wrong. We do this because we need to and have rights.
Not really can take it no more. I've been fighting temptations, my Lord. I'm thinking I'm restless. Not really can't help it. I never felt selfish before. I've been living so reckless, I know. Tell me, Lord, can you help me?
When we were going through the whole civil rights, I thought, well, our children won't have to go through this. But our children are being shot down for no reason whatsoever and stopped and frisked simply because of the color of their skin.
Talk about the fact that we don't get treated with basic respect in this country. People take it as complaining or like bitching. Like, we're asking for basic human rights. How is that complaining? Like, how is that bitching? We're asking to be treated like how y'all get treated without, like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, somehow we always end up looking like bad people just for doing basic ass shit. Like, asking for you to not kill me does not make me like a complainer or like a whiner or a bitch. That makes me a human being. Like, stop killing us. It's not hard. It's like 2 + 2 = 4. It just doesn't make any sense.
They don't have to walk the shoes like that we have to go through and, you know, tippy toe with the police like we have to. So they see it as, you should just listen to authority, you know, and it's easy. It's easy because for them it's easy. But when, you know, the police see us and, you know, our skin color and everything, all the connotations behind that, for them, it's not easy for the police to feel safe.
The relationship between black people in society, like in the institutionalized racism that we often experience, things that are like state-sanctioned forms of violence, where you can fight a particular person, but because it's systemic, there's groups and organizations and socioeconomic classes that back them up. And it's not just fighting a person, it's fighting an entire system.
You know, whether it's state-sanctioned violence or violence in general, in the layers that it kind of encompasses us, I think that it forces people, or at least the young and the restless, to want to do something about it. And the magnitude of all the issues in this world is definitely overbearing.
What that was all about, the revolution will not be televised. That was about the fact that the first change that takes place is in your mind. You have to change your mind before you change the way you live and the way you move. So when we said that the revolution will not be televised, we were saying the thing that's going to change people is something that no one will ever be able to capture on film. It'll just be something that you see and all of a sudden you realize, I'm on the wrong page. Or I'm on the right page, but I'm on the wrong note. And I've got to get in sync with everyone else to understand what's happening in this country.
We need to have that consciousness as a whole. It can't just be like 1 or 2 people. Like, even though your favorite team is playing, don't watch it because you're just giving them more money. So you have to separate those things that you want from things that you need. So like, you're gonna have to sacrifice that NFL game for your human rights if you really want it. And so we just all need to have that same consciousness and that same awareness that we are powerful and that our money is basically what keeps this country afloat.
He began to poke at the thought of what does it mean to liberate yourself in a mental sense, but also beyond just like being successful and like having money. Like, how are we fixing our communities, and fighting the temptation to go back to do the same things you were doing before you had anything. And like, that's the time for you to break out. Like, that's the time for you to become like the new voice and like that new influence on the people who are around you.
I feel like talking about it, like in other like situations like this and just in general, like helps a lot and like motivates you because it's like you have to, because this is like my life, this is other people's lives, and it's like there's no choice really, because like I don't want people growing up to have to feel like they're not safe too.
It's easy for us to give in, to be like everybody else and just look out for ourselves. But I think the song is really strong because it tries to tell you that yes, you're going to have these thoughts. Yes, you're going to want to be like everybody else, you're gonna want to do all these different things, but at the end of the day, it's your responsibility as a young leader, as a young activist, to move past that, to look at the bigger picture, to not only teach, but also listen.
On an individual level, I feel like the things that you could do is like, talk to, maybe kids in your neighborhood, talk to people like you went to high school with, talk to the people that came under you, like from your school, that's maybe 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year behind you, to like give them like a path of how, everything works out. I feel like that's just as important.
Videos and like, I swear I've seen the Eric Gardner video front backwards, analyzed it, slow motion, like 1,000 times I've seen that man die. Like, as we would talk and we would see, like we would have people from like the police station, people come in, and one thing I always notice is 9 times out of 10, they were either one, a man, or 2, white. And as I'm watching all these people come in, I'm like, okay, like, we're here watching these problems and seeing what's going on, and like, all these people who are in positions of power are like white men. So I started thinking, like, I went in there wanting to go to law school, and like, by the time I graduated senior year, I was like, well, maybe if I were to go and join the force and become a police officer, even though I'm just one little person, like, if I start, maybe someone else will see me, and they might, think, oh, okay, if this black woman can do it, like, maybe I can do it. And then, the more, like, with representation, like, the more you see someone who looks like you doing something, the more you think you have the opportunity to do it.
Generation, it's important for us to sort of learn where we come from and understand the history and the precedent that exists to constantly making changes in our society. As people of color, recognizing women of color, recognizing LGBT people of color, and broadly people in general who have sort of cemented a way and have contributed in a way that allows us to expand and to really further the endeavors of oppressed people since the beginning of time.
Whether we ask for it or not is on us. The baton is in our hands. It don't matter if we sprint through this course or we run like a snail. If we need water, we can get that. If we need a break, we can get that. We just got to make sure one thing, and that one thing is to hand something off to the next generation when it's time for them to run their course. Any progress is progress, but no progress isn't.
The flag is drenched with our blood. Because you see, so many of our ancestors was killed because we have never accepted slavery. We had to live on it, but we've never wanted it. So we know that this flag is drenched with our blood. So what the young people are saying now, give us a chance to be young men, respected as a man. As we know, this country was built on the black backs of black people across this country. And if we don't have it, you ain't gonna have it either, because we gonna tear it up. That's what they saying. And people ought to understand that. I don't see why they don't understand it. They know what they've done to us. All across this country, they know what they've done to us.
Now everybody got problems, yeah, but waiting no one way to solve them. I really came up from the bottom, struggling my mama on the last dollar. Hustling, man, I've been putting in these hours. The government been trying to take away what I was. Really all about the money and the power. I just want to see my people in power.